Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about the J-Lo Mecha movie and why the J-Lo Mecha movie is the future of Dungeons and Dragons. Let's jump into it. Okay. All right. So I watched the J-Lo Mecha movie. It's called Atlas. There are spoilers for Atlas in this content. All right. This is astounding. I am absolutely amazed by this. So I watched this movie and I was like, "What is this?" Right? It was very shocking. Right? Um, I really, when the movie was done, I absolutely loved it. Okay, but there were moments of confusion through it, like serious confusion. Right? So what is this? It's Jennifer Lopez, right? And it's Ron Chiang, right? Fantastic, really talented comedian who plays the villain in this, and it is the best live action mecha you will find anywhere. Okay. Now, first of all, why are we even talking about this? I love mecha. I love. Um, okay, and let's get okay. It's not a power suit, and it's not a giant robot. It's right in the middle, right? And I would say that mecha are between 12 and 28 feet tall, right? And this thing was probably like 20 feet tall, 10 feet wide. And it was a mecha. It was a powerful, um, human formed metallic warrior with like exactly what you would find in Armor Core, exactly like what you would find in Gundam, right? But not Voltron, right? Like giant robot and power suits are different than mecha. Mecha is its own unique genre, right? And I love this genre. I absolutely love this genre. Matt Click put out a fantastic tabletop role playing game on this. I think it was called was it the Mecha Hack? Like the Black Hack, it was like the Mecha Hack. And then also, Index Card RPG did a phenomenal game called Hard Suit. That's probably the best mecha tabletop role playing game that's ever been done. And before you say it, I don't think Lancer was good at all. I think Lancer was a confused mess. Amazing art, really very high production values, but the story itself was just kind of non-comprehensible, right? But Hard Suit was extremely good. Mecha Hack was extremely good. But and so, but why is the J-Lo Mecha movie the absolute future of Dungeons and Dragons? Well, that's a good question, and I'm going to answer it for you right now. All right. So the reason why the J-Lo Mecha movie is important is specifically because this is a mecha movie your aunt's gonna watch, right? And that's an incredible thing. And you're like, wait, what are you saying? Yes, you're right. It's extremely unusual, right? So the thing is, I watched the latest Gundam film, right? And I loved it. It was fantastic mecha action that absolutely nobody watched, right? And I can't even tell you its subtitle name. It was just like latest Gundam movie XYZ. Hathaway, Hawthorne, who knows, right? And I don't remember it because I watched it and I talked to nobody about it because absolutely nobody I know cares about Gundam. They do not. It is 100% do not care about Gundam, right? So that's the issue, right? J-Lo will get millions of people engaged with Mecha. And that's exactly what's happening with Dungeons and Dragons, right? Dungeons and Dragons absolutely no longer competes for like OSE is like, we have a better rule system than you. And everybody's like, you may not. It doesn't even matter, right? Nothing you do matters. And the reason why is Dungeons and Dragons increasingly is literally attaching Hollywood stars to itself. Justice Smith, David Harbour, Millie Bobby Brown. Like the list goes, like Renee Jean Page, like Chris Pine. The list goes on and on and on and on. Not just voice actors anymore, right? Voice actors brought 10 or 15 million people to Dungeons and Dragons, and now they're like, great, that was helpful. Let's actually deal with some real Hollywood stars, right? And this is the issue: is the J-Lo Mecha movie is what we need, right? That actually not what we need. It's literally what Dungeons and Dragons is doing today. It's saying, listen, we know nobody in the world cares about tabletop role-playing games. Maybe 10 or 15 million people in the entire world, right? But you know who cares about J-Lo? A billion people, right? Like, like, and that's the issue, right? And so Dungeons and Dragons is attaching itself to things that people do care about, and those people are being exposed to Dungeons and Dragons. And then at the same time, the OSR is like, we don't like Jennifer Lopez or whatever, or we don't like this Hollywood star, we don't like, Sydney Sweeney, or we don't like whatever isn't our thing, and so we're gonna down it, right? Even and here's the issue, right? Like OSE, right? Increasingly where we're landing is if literally 100,000 people see a tree fall in the forest, does it make a sound? And the answer is no, right? If 100 million people see a tree fall in the forest, then it makes a sound. And that's the point. The OSC isn't making a sound. The Hackmaster isn't making a sound. Call of Cthulhu isn't making a sound. Nothing but Dungeons and Dragons is the entirety of the tabletop role-playing game industry, right? That's what we realized in 2023, right? And what we realized is people are more interested in Dungeons and Dragons in a completely scandal-ridden year than they are when in any OSR or indie game are on their best behaved year. That's where we're at. So Dungeons and Dragons is the J-Lo Mecha movie, right? The Mecha movie your mom's gonna watch, right? Your uncle's gonna watch. The Mecha movie your third cousin is gonna watch. That's what it is. And this is the future of Dungeons and Dragons, reaching groups outside the TTRPG. And the fact that the OSR and the indie can't even understand this is why they continue to get absolutely virtually stomped by Dungeons & Dragons on the daily. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing and have a fetch millennium.